Oh.
Mountain with the Michael Low closing.
All right, so this is the Cloud. This is a matchup that PkChris has played quite a bit. I don't know with who.
Could be.
I don't know. I don't know who PkChris has played that played Cloud, but
Yeah.
there's one thing I will say.
Hi, Mojo.
I've definitely talked to WhyDo about this matchup, and I know that he feels pretty confident in Cloud here. So we are seeing the Cloud. We're not seeing Steve. And hey, man, I always sing Cloud praise in this matchup. I think Cloud does fine against Ness. It's like, it's a good matchup.
Oh yeah, he's got a big boy sword. And
Honestly, I was talking with WhyDo before the tournament actually, and we both came to the consensus that he thinks he needs to counterpick people more, which is why the Cloud is coming out over the Steve, even though we've seen Steve the entire tournament. He has the Cloud, he has the Aegis, he has the Steve, and in the back he has the Rob, but that's the Steve.
His Rob is amazing.
His Rob is actually
like.
It's not even like a joke character.
No, it's not, unfortunately. Like, he's so good with Rob.
Honestly, they're keeping it very close, but Chris clawing his way back into this match and honestly taking a very strong lead suddenly, even though he had a pretty big deficit at the start.
Yeah, the one thing I will say about this character pick, particularly like opposed to the others, I don't really know exactly how Ness does against Steve. Like, I don't know if we might see the Steve come out.
I think we'll see.
Yeah, I think we're still seeing the Cloud. I think this is the stage pick too. Like honestly, like I feel like this is a matchup I prefer more space personally. But
I think something that people really don't realize, especially against Chris, this is something that I think that doesn't a lot of people. He occupies not the platform, but the space right between where you're trying to get to the platform.
Yes, yes, I've said so many times.
He occupies that area so perfectly, it feels impossible to approach him.
I've said this a million times, but the only way you're beating PkChris is if you get a stock lead.
Literally,
like there's no way you're beating him if you get a stock lead.
You can't go down. He's so strong with the lead. His patience is insane. He's one of those players where he started off very aggressive. When he first started playing, this is a player who would run at you and run at you and run at you until it stopped working, and then he would still run at you. Now he will literally camp you until the timer says fucking 0. Until it says 0.
Words. So good.
Words.
That's our first stock. We got the forward tilt coming out.
Yep.
That's a move I've been trying to use a little more. I think I was talking to WhyDo today, and I literally just said, I like Cloud forward tilt. So I'm taking credit for that forward tilt, because like I mentioned, forward tilt today. Something that WhyDo loves to do with his Cloud too is he loves down smash, man. He loves down smash. So we might be seeing some of that come through too.
I wanted that better a little too early though. Cross slash.
I think something that's really underrated with Cloud, and I think the only player I really see bringing really polite is Fargo, is he's very much willing to just let limits go away. He's the only Cloud player I see do this, and I feel like it's an option that is not amazing all the time, but it's something that you can just do to keep the pressure on. I feel like Cloud players almost force in their head and they have to use a limit move.
I'm not gonna lie, I do that sometimes.
And like, it's like they feel like they're forced to make this commitment, but you're really not to. You can just let your limit bar run out, keep that advantage state, and once they're back on ledge, guess what you can do? Start charging up that meter again.
Yeah, the thing too is that limit and conditions shield. So like even in that time when limit is about to run out, or even when it does run out, if your opponent doesn't react in time, you can still get a grab.
Yeah, that's a free tomahawk. You put that pressure on them, it's so easy to pressure them into that shield. Perfect. And that's a really good backer from WhyDo. He's bringing this game back. I mean, down 3 stocks to 1 at one point, and now we're close to that. Tail of the Thunder gonna just make it, so, you know.
The thing too is this is a matchup too that like me personally, like what I find really useful too, like it's like I think some players like they think they have to like really ledge trap Ness hard. Low key, I feel like if you're kind of like lingering in that space like between the middle of the stage and the ledge, and if you're just kind of like swatting him away and keeping him like in the corner, like I don't know, like it feels like that's like kind of efficient too.
It is, yeah, okay, that makes sense as well. I don't think he wants to try the Steve.
Nah.
Which, honestly, I'm kind of surprised about.
I honestly TM too. Yeah.
I don't really know how much experience Chris has in that matchup. I know Chris plays Steve, but I don't know how good he is against Steve.
Yeah, I know he plays a little bit of Steve, but I don't know how much Steve he fights.
To be fair, we also don't have any really like super strong Aegis players. Our best one is probably Blackbird.
Yeah, Blackbird's definitely been leveling up lately. No, but like we don't have like any like like GR level.
Yeah, we don't have a Cosmos, you know. It's
Thank God, by the way.
Yeah, actually. Character's still very strong. A lot of people think they might be the best in the game. They have probably everything except a solid recovery. Yeah, I don't say they have a bad recovery though. I think they fall into the same.
They still have a few mix-ups.
At the Fox, they're not bad. They're exploitable. you can look for those openings, and there's a lot of times that don't mess up, and you can find a really free guard just by catching one bad option. But the recoveries aren't inherently fast. They have a lot of options, they have a lot of mix-ups, they can snap the ledge. I mean, the ability to switch between Pyro and Mythra and have two different speeds and a 5e is actually really useful. Also, who's picking the music?
This is Chris.
I think this was Chris's pick, yeah.
Yeah, this is absolutely Chris's pick.
Solid pick, so.
It's a really good pick. Like, there's a lot of good Sonic songs. I think it's like absolutely
yeah. Against Ness, yo-yo at ledge, you always get a that's the option that beats it. Although the way Chris masked his way down there was unironically beautiful. He put a lot of pressure onto WhyDo with his option coming down, and right as WhyDo was jumping off the ledge, he put that down smash as the captain with that active hitbox. That was a really good neutral B to catch that. The starting hitbox on that neutral B for Mythra actually starting super high above her for some reason. Because why not?
She needs it.
She needs it.
Oh,
Chris messing up a
Chris also
recovery,
needs to start
actually,
teching
yeah,
hers.
okay, cool.
Well, Chris said, I don't need this stock. I'm out. Yeah, he's like,
also, we stayed on Battlefield.
yeah, honestly,
By the way,
like,
I think this stage is insane for that.
I think that makes more sense for Pythra, right?
Yeah,
I
for
feel like
Mythra
for
it
Cloud,
does,
I
yeah.
feel like having that space and forcing approach to the limit. That's another thing we talked about a lot today too. We were playing a lot of Cloud Dittos. Like, honestly, like just like the ability to like force approach, like is like so underrated. Like, it's such an underrated tool in Cloud's kit.
Something something I think is like really, really important against Ness is I feel like people don't realize how strong the platform is. Like I feel like the existence of platforms is such a problem when you're playing against Ness. I feel like limiting them or understanding how you have to play around them is so important. You can't go under platforms against it. Even though that's where you want to be realistically. There's two spots against Ness that I really want to be. I want to be directly horizontal to him and have more range than him. Or I want to be able to shark him where he can't hit me.
Yep.
Right? The problem is you can't get to Ness to shark him 99% of the time because of the way Chris occupies that space right before it. Which is, again, perfect. Those PK fires, that downer, oh, great punish real quick. But there's a lot of like, oh my, that was so good.
Yeah.
Forced to air dodge because the side B is out. Chris tapping out, quick up smash. Also, okay, Pyro back air is a move.
It's kind of big.
Kind of big, kind of strong. Ooh, good combo by WhyDo. Yep, I think a lot of
41.7.
Paid his Mythra tax. You know,
get hit by Mythra, get put in advantage state. Take your percent, and then you just reset. She's very annoying. She's like Sheik with the sword. And they were like, yeah, that's okay, give it witch time.
I mean, like, only fitting that the character that's from, like, a game with British voice actors is the one that's, you know, taxing people, you know? That's history, baby.
How much of the team
American Revolution.
That's a team tag.
I just learned about that.
Did
Oh,
you
very
guys
cool.
Actually,
Obviously,
I love history.
History's awesome.
History
No,
is
sure.
crazy.
Literally cannot agree.
Pay attention to
and
school kids.
speaking
Wow,
of history,
okay.
that game is history because it's over?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a...
WhyDo played that last stock so clean. I feel like Chris genuinely just got caught up in the Mythra zone. That entire last stock, he couldn't get out of disadvantage. He was just trapped in a blunder. And again, that's what I was talking about. If Ness can't land, if Ness can't reset, that character struggles. He's floaty, which means he can't land easily. He doesn't have a good move to put an active hitbox below him. So landing against disjointed moves is very difficult. His best landing move is Dare. Or not Dare, Nair, technically.
Yeah,
but,
probably.
But Nair doesn't really hit below him.
Nah, not really. It's just kind of this, like,
And
bubble,
you're not,
but it doesn't really hit
and
its
you're
feet,
not landing with down air. So it's like, if Mythra starts putting you in this juggle, what do you do?
I guess you go to ledge, and then you get hit by that if you go to ledge. So it's like, yeah. This is game three.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm confused.
Oh, this
Oh,
is,
I don't know, actually.
This was in the other category, so I have no idea.
Okay. Okay, PK fire.
Oh, yeah, and that's the Ness stuff, yeah.
It's really good that WhyDo hit that tech on the Nair, though. If you miss that tech, you're going to get jab locked, and that's down. You cannot survive a jab lock at that percentage. Never have smash bottom.
Surprisingly enough, Chris actually landed with down air.
But it's an option.
It is an option. I'm not saying it's a bad one.
Oh, good side B. This is where it gets difficult. Occupying this ledge.
If you have a jump, really good at saving it.
Oh,
I think that's death for both of them.
That's death for both. That's death for
Yep.
both. He clunked. He clunked on the stage.
My
He
God.
made it to the stage and clunked and was able to recover even though the screen was all the way out. Super well played by Chris. I thought he was dead.
I think we all thought he was dead.
Wow.
That was probably the most clutch block I've ever seen.
God.
And think we can all agree not dying is good.
Not dying is
Yeah,
very good.
I'm
I mean-
a fan of
I
it
mean,
myself.
Oh, okay, that
But
makes sense.
Pyro disagrees.
Wait, that was such a good mix-up. In that situation, you can actually always jump away from the up air. It's not actually a true 50-50. You never actually get hit by a move
Oh,
after
really?
that.
It's not true 50.
No, that up throw has way more lag than you think it does. You are, obviously if you jump away from it, you're forced right above them, which is not a very nice interaction. But, you don't have to give them error. Although, WhyDo catching that error is beautiful. Now, right back into this slaughter that is this Mithra advantage state.
Yeah, 'cause I know Blackbird's been doing that a lot, like up throwing into aerials and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So we're learning a bit. Oh, wow. My man wrote his name and then he's like, I'm coming back. He's like,
Sign here, please.
yeah, sign here for your death. It's like, nah. And then Mithra's like, I can't read. Like,
Oh, but Pyro Fair. That has no jump. I don't think you ever make that.
Yeah.
no,
Great
no.
angle. Oh, that's
Oh, we're doing the big blast.
Oh, it's not.
That hit is significantly weaker than the front hit and it wasn't fully charged. The fully charged actually has a longer hitbox, actually. It like has like a more active hitbox that lasts longer. It's actually quite good. So usually you can air dodge. Ness players will almost always opt for the air dodge factor ledge. Be obviously it's safer. But it's actually something you can punish. If you're aware that it's
yeah.
complete health.
that was pretty guaranteed as long as you timed it right, yeah.
Honestly, like the biggest thing that I think Chris needs to be careful of now is just like I think he's being too aggressive, genuinely. And what I was gonna say before we got into this third game was that I think that if you don't have platform, that's your stat. I know Chris hates people to FD a lot, but I genuinely think this is not a good FD.
I honestly think Chris like functions really well with platforms.
I do too.
Kind of moving that
and
within
I
that area,
give
yeah.
advice to people against him, like, look, if you're gonna play against him, don't go to platform stages, or like try to like limit the platforms on your
Yeah,
stages,
100%.
because he's so good at occupying them and like not letting people use them against him.
If anything, I'm kind of surprised he didn't bring it back to Battlefield then, you know?
Honestly, DSR.
Oh, true. That could
But
happen, yeah.
the only thing about that though is I think I wouldn't have been shocked to see something like a PS2, a small, even like a Palos do that. Okay, but this is where it gets started. Ness is a character who can just explode your shot.
Wait.
Oh, he's gonna tank it. He's gonna tank it. Wow, actually,
I mean, honestly, that's yeah.
well played by WhyDo, finding that clean F tilt at the ledge, and I genuinely think the big issue Chris had there was not escape Mithra's advantage state. He just was taking so much damage every time he got hit. It was so
Dude,
hard for him to
it's
do
all about
anything.
that Mithra tax, baby. It's like New York tax, to be honest, right? Yeah.
Pay $3 for your McDonald's sandwich and tax.
Yeah, truth.